My dear student friends, faculty members, I welcome to you for today's session. Namaste. I'll introduce my background in brief. Currently, I am a member of the student startup team of AICTE, working on student startups across India. I'm a son of a teacher father and teacher mother, born in a village in Maharashtra. I'm a first generation entrepreneur, engineer, who has founded companies, created employment, brought in foreign currency for our country. The company that I founded is a star export house now for the last 22 years. Last 12 years, I'm with students and teaching what little I have learned, what experience I have gained while working as an entrepreneur, as an engineer at different places of this world. Today, my friends, I have something new to share with you. And that is about innovating self. New things about studying, working, and entering into our professional lives in a way that our working will contribute to the progress of our mother country, and at the same time create a great successful life for us and for the people we care for. This talk of about 30-40 minutes is not based only on academic theories. It is based on my experience of last many years of learning almost every day at different places of our world, and also from different people who have learned their lessons in their lives. Friends, I have created an agenda for us for today, and I want to create some value for your time that you are investing 30-40 minutes. Before we start, I'll clear my agenda as we go ahead, but before we start, I would like you to take out your pencils, pens, paper, smartphones, and jot down just 5 questions that I'm going to give you. The answers of these questions can be written by you at your leisure time, not now. Neither these answers are to be submitted to anyone. The questions and the answers are going to remain with you forever. However, I believe they will be a guideline for you as you enter into your next year of education, as also in your professional lives. The basis of the questions is that while giving answers, please write down the answer that comes first to your mind. Do not think so much. Psychologically, what comes first to our mind is embedded in our minds very prominently. And that is why it springs up the first thing when we think of a question. So please mind this and do it this way. Don't give a lot of time. Having said this, just 5 questions. The first question is, I want you to rewind your life and think when you were in 8th, 9th, or 10th standard. This need not be academic, but what is the first one thing that comes to your mind when you think of 8th, 9th, or 10th standard? It can be good or bad. Write down the one thing that is prominently coming to your mind. Second, think when you were in the 12th standard or in your second year of diploma in engineering. Write down just the one thing that comes to your mind when you think of it. My third question is, think today, think the year you are in to this college. And think of two things. One that is going as what you had thought of, and one that is not at all going as you want it to go. These two things you should write down. The fourth point is about imagining that this is your graduation day. You have worked very hard and you are graduating today. Your parents are there for the graduation ceremony. You are very happy that you are going to get your degree. What is the one thing that you would like to have from tomorrow? Having graduated, what is the one thing that will make you really very, very happy if that happens? And the last and the fifth question is, now you are graduated, you have got what you dreamt of in the fourth question. Think of yourself 5 years down the line. You're graduated and 5 years have gone. You have walked a path of professional life for 5 years and you look back. Where you see yourself after 5 years after graduation? What will make you happy if you are there at that position after 5 years? My dear friends, these answers are not to be shown to anyone. You can then change the answers as you go, as your life unfolds. However, this piece of paper or these notes on your smartphone, do not delete them. Put a date on them, today's date, and then after a few years, you'll know at this time, at this age, I was thinking this. These 5 questions can be elaborated further, broken down into small, small pieces. This is just an example I have given you, which covers the past, the present, and the future. You tailor the questions according to your needs, try to fill them, keep them with you, and there'll be a guideline for you. This is my experience. Please do it. I would urge you to consider this and do it. Friends, there will be some dream, a positive dream, while you will be answering your 5th question. The dream for a bright future. And to fulfill the dream that we have visualized, we need to plan and we need to act accordingly. We need to innovate ourselves. For that, based on my experience, I have crafted just 3-point agenda for you. And I believe if you hear carefully for the next 30-40 minutes, and if you try to implement this agenda of just 3 points, I'm confident these points have potential to shape your life as you dream. I'll just brief the agenda, 3 points, and then go point by point. My first point is that first we'll understand the scenario. Always you need to understand the question, the scenario, before taking any action on it. So we'll first see what today's scenario is and how an individual student, engineering student, professional student, management student, catering student and the institution can find a place into the scenario. My second point is, for finding a place, once we know the scenario, we must try to visualize the needs and the skill sets that are needed for the changed scenario. The scenario is going to change, that you already know. What are the challenges? I call them interesting challenges. And also great opportunities that the challenges will bring along with them. We need to visualize the opportunities also, not just think of the challenges. And my third agenda point, which is very important, is having understood the scenario, having understood what I need to do it to handle the scenario and the challenges. The third important point is, how do we do it? Please tell me how I can do it. So we will talk about the steps that we can take from today onwards that can make sure that we have created a place for ourselves in the mainstream of development, in the mainstream of change and the development. So the agenda is just 3 points. Understand the scenario, see the skill sets that are needed, and third is, how do we do it? So the first point of the agenda. The current scenario is changing very fast. Social, industrial, professional, you name it, everything is changing. And let's believe that change will be constant. We all have challenges. I'm not going to discuss so much about the challenges because you know the challenges already. The challenges are taught over and over again in social media, in print media, on phone with friends, on WhatsApp, and everywhere. So you yourself can visualize the challenges. And the challenges will change a little according to your background, according to your thinking, according to your dreams. So let's not talk about the challenges and the normally talked multidisciplinary approach. And if you are in mechanical engineering, just try to make friends with metallurgy, IT, production, and so on and so forth. That is very important that we must do. But with the changed scenario, that is not enough. So let's see first that what are the opportunities that are going to come. Challenges, already we have had a couple of minutes talk on that. So what opportunities will bring? And to me, it will bring some great opportunities, but we'll talk about the most important opportunity, important that concerns you today, my students, is that the global companies already have started considering coming to India and having a footprint in India, besides China, or at times in place of China. I know that over 300 companies, which are from the Fortune 1000 companies, not small companies, they're great companies, like General Electric, Apple, and so on and so forth, are already in initial talks with our honorable government, considering India as the next footprint, a democratic country for them to invest in, to make, and to come here. This is in line with the Make in India slogan given by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji. I know, and this is known to everyone, that the French President, Mr. Macron, has openly confirmed that France is going to come to India. Seriously. You know, Airbus is a French company. The company that I founded, which is a star export house today, has partners, as customers in the United States, Germany, Netherlands, and other places. And I have a feeling that the top cadre of those companies are considering associating with India in a better way. So the Fortune 1000 companies and also other companies are considering coming to India in some way or other. There is a clear sign of shift to India. And this is the foremost advantage that we must know today, ahead of time. And my educated guess, I repeat, it is guess, but it is educated guess, is that in the next 12 to 18 months, we'll see this happening in a big way. Indian engineers and professionals can build value chains for critical products and services, like the pharma industry, like auto industry, like service industry, food industry, and so on and so forth. At this time, all the companies that are coming from outer world and also the companies which are already there in India are bound to find and pick up professionals, talent locally. But they'll expect that the new appointees speed up in their new roles. Till today, we were talking of a gap in between academia and industry and so on and so forth, and we're trying to bridge it to the best of our ability, but we have to be really quick on this, because the professionals like you who are going to be out from the college should be ready to perform, because the expectations from big companies would be that the new appointees speed up their work in their new roles. Let me here come up with a new idea. That is a possibility again, but I foresee this possibility of Uber jobs. I call it Uber jobs. This is highly likely in the coming days, in my opinion, and the engineers with certain skill sets can be chartered by the companies. You see, in profession or in business, companies offer some services or products to the larger companies, but the individuals look only for employment. These Uber jobs, as I call it, will be offering some services to the companies. So this can be a self-employment, you can call it. There could be clusters of Uber engineers. There could be single engineers as chartered engineers. There could be networking platforms like Amazon for offering Uber engineers. And a cluster of Uber engineers can offer services, a part of the services that company needs, completely owning the responsibility as a package to the companies. So employment can change, or the face of employment can change. In the process, two things. One, the skill sets need to be improved. We'll be talking about that. For getting to Uber jobs, for getting to professionals like doctors. Doctor gets a degree and practices. A chartered engineer gets a degree and practices. A lawyer does the same thing. And tomorrow's Uber engineers, Uber professionals, Uber chefs can do the same thing, like lawyers or doctors. They learn more than being an employee. So if tomorrow you are one part of a cluster of Uber engineers, you learn more, but you will perform more. The expectations will be more. Only then you can expect more. And there is a chance of vice versa also. If you don't skill yourself, probably there is a chance that you have to face difficulties. So better equip ourselves with the skill sets that are needed for the future. That is why when I say innovate self, change is necessary, empowerment is necessary, and skilling is necessary. We'll talk about the skills exactly in the next point. I'll now move to my third agenda point, to become ready for this enjoyable challenge, I call it. What steps I should take as a student to become ready for such a future. In this third agenda point, I'll just talk about 3 steps, no more steps. 3 steps which I feel very important. And my dear students, you should consider adopting these 3 steps very seriously, very sincerely, and I'm convinced that these steps have potential to change your life. You can put yourself in the mainstream of tomorrow's needs. And these steps, third agenda point, 3 steps. The first step is rapidly identifying your likings and your skills. I say rapidly. Every word is very important, my dear students. Companies will now be deciding strategies to build the future. They'll not only come here because China is a difficult country to work in. So go to India. Though it is correct, it is not entirely correct. When they move here, they'll have expectations. And the expectations, fulfill the expectations, they'll have strategies to build their own future. We must visualize this. To do this, they'll identify within India crucial value drivers and employee groups, as I said, Uber groups. They will look for them. Once you know what you are good at and have worked on it, you'll not only be ready to join the world, to join the Uber team, create value, but you'll be able to choose the company or companies you are going to work with. So in the campus interview, they come there, interview you, and select you. If you are really good in your skill sets, even you as a group, Uber group, or as a single Uber engineer or a professional, will be able to select the company you would like to work for. My second step in the third agenda point is to build the critical skills. Which are them and which are the critical skills, and build the critical skills. I'll tell you. You already know the multidisciplinary, as I talked just before, and domain skills and all that. That is very important, but not enough. But one more step I suggest to you is to build no regret skill sets, I call it. No regret skill sets. A multi-purpose skill set, which will never ever fade with the time. A toolkit for you that will be useful no matter how a specific role unfolds for you as you go along. To do this, I would suggest that you focus on 4 things, just 4 things, or skilling yourself in 4 things. The first thing is digital skill. When I say digital skill, I do not intend just what is taught in the colleges. That is important, but we must do more than that, not just the smartphones, not just the routine languages, not even just the special languages like Python or Ruby on Rails, but more than that. Artificial intelligence is coming, machine learning, many other things for which the time for you is now. You are in great colleges, you have professors who are equipped with guiding you, equipped with knowledge and the material. So take their guidance and go beyond what is asked in the examinations, what is in the curriculum, and request them, get connected with them for equipping yourself in digital skills. This is first. The second is higher cognitive skills. I say higher cognitive skills. I'll come back to it. The third is social and emotional skills. And the fourth is adaptive and resilience skills. First, digital, we have already talked about. The higher cognitive skills. We all have cognitive skills. From the birth, we observe, we listen. As we grow, we read, we meet people, and we learn. Different ways are there, we learn new things, new concepts, and remember them. This becomes a learning which is cognitive. I say higher cognitive skills can be developed. New ways of learning can be developed. You should be conscious about higher cognitive skills for which you need to learn every day. There is no fun in photocopying the years of your life. I would not want you, as I said in the beginning, on the 5th year, you say that I have learned for 1 year because the first professional year I have repeated for 5 years. So my mathematical experience is of 5 years, but in reality, if I photocopy 1 year experience 5 times, then my real experience is 1 year. I don't want you to do that, for which higher cognitive skills I'm emphasizing as a second point you should work on. These will never fade. These will remain with you forever. The third point I said is social and emotional skills. As you know, we are a part of the society. Even the Indian Engineering Society, if you are in engineering or professional, you know that 10,000 plus institutes are there, even only within India, with about 80 lakh students studying in it. So there is a large society and you are part of a society. So social sciences, social psychology, even if you know or don't know, plays a part, plays a role in your upbringing and handling things. So being aware of it is very helpful. You need not build the skills to a great extent in sociology, but you must be aware of it. So I don't say you build the skills, but you should be aware of social skills, emotional. You see, negotiation is a subject in itself. Countries negotiate, and great negotiations. We all negotiate almost 50% of the time in our lives, in some way. So emotional intelligence, emotional is very important. Once you know, you can improve the pie, you can optimize the outcome of what you do. So emotional skills also are important. So this third point, this point, third point of social and emotional skills, you be aware of it, study it a little, and then it develops on its own. And the fourth is adaptive and resilience skills. Adaptive skills are very important. You know that dinosaurs have extinguished no more because they were not adaptive. You see, we are habitually trained to get question papers in our lives and coming up with answers which are taught in the colleges or which are there someplace, and then solve the questions in real life. My dear friends, questions come to you unexpectedly. And this is more than evident today. Last 2 months we have seen how the question has been thrown or forced upon 184 countries of this world. So it is the question which can come without your knowledge, without knowing. It's not a question paper of college. It's okay. If challenging, it's okay. Challenging is interesting. The question comes, it is your response that is important to the question. That can make or break you. So your response must be very articulate, thoughtful, and in a way that optimizes the possible outcome. Adaptive questions, adaptive challenges, normally I would just touch upon is to be broken into two parts. And you will see that the challenge is, any challenge or any question has two parts. One is a part that can be answered with resources. So you know the answer. If I have the resource, I can do it. Resource of money, resource of manpower, resource of anything, vehicle, anything. So with that resource, I can solve this question. And the second is the adaptive challenge, wherein you need to change yourself, wherein you need to change the people you are working with. It is attitudinal change, changing the mindsets of people, which is the adaptive challenge, which is very difficult to do. Leadership lies in handling adaptive challenges. So, adaptive and resilience. Adaptive, I just talked about a little. Resilience is once you give your response to the question, how do you quickly adapt yourself? For adapting, you have to recover from the shock. This is more than evident in the recent 2 months. You recover quickly, only then you can give a thoughtful response. Change yourself according to the situation. This is resilience, to recover, to adjust quickly, and get going. I'm confident. Your skill building in these 4 areas will be useful for you for life. If you ask me to summarize this, I would not say that just summarize this. Keep in mind all these 4 steps that are very important, but generally to zip them and put them in one umbrella for keeping it with you, and then opening the zip and seeing all the 4 points. I would say that learning to learn. At the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is considered to be the #1 engineering institute of this world, they say I got my master's in technology from that institute. And when people ask, what do you learn at MIT? And the alumni normally have a common answer. And that answer is, we have learned to learn. Learning to learn is adaptive ability that makes you special, that makes you handle challenges in a very, very positive way. So learn these 4 points. I have zipped them for you in two words, learning to learn, to 3 words, learning to learn. Now the third point of agenda I'll shift to, and that is, the third step is, you learn the skills and you try to test them again rapidly. And repeat the testing. And start it from today. Third agenda point is, when you learn the second point of agenda, the third part is test it immediately while still you are in schools, colleges. And repeat the learning. Test it. While repeating, you do away with the errors that you made while first doing it. And this has very limited risks involved because you are still in education institutions. And your institution, including the topmost AICTE, Innovation Cell, MHRD, everyone with you, the country is with you. You are tomorrow the student of our country, is tomorrow of our country. And all the senior organizations, all the senior people are with you. You are not alone. Let me ensure you that we all are with you. You're not alone. But you have to work for yourself. We cannot work for you. And what you have to work, I have been narrating the last few minutes. And my third point, as I said, is learning, then testing our learning, then doing away with the errors that we made, and repeating it, and that is doing it from today while I am still in the college. My dear friends, envisioning future and acting rapidly is the key to success. This gives us an advantage. This advantage, in management terms, is called as first mover's advantage. So envisioning future and working on it rapidly. When I say rapidly, I do not intend you to rush on it. I want you to hasten slowly. You hasten on it, but articulately, thinking on it, but not lingering unnecessarily that I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it this year. Not that. You should work today. I'll give you just a couple of examples I'll touch on. Is that the company I founded was 22 years ago. We visualized that export is going to be very important. Innovation is going to be very important. So we innovated products for medical industries, products for food industries, services, designs, and we started exporting. Today it is an export house. So envisioning early on that the economy is opening up and exports will be easier than they were before. Easier in terms of the government norms, not easier in terms of designing products or services. They need to be internationally acceptable and of great quality. But I just wanted to emphasize the need to envision and act upon it early on. The second example I'll give you is the Bhau Institute of Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Leadership at the College of Engineering, Pune. Founded 12 years ago in 2008. Today's Honorable Chairman, Dr. Sahasrabudhe, AICTE Chairman, was the Honorable Director of College of Engineering, Pune. And when we all thought of having an institute like that, and we're coining the name for it, you'll notice that we introduced innovation word into it. Bhau Institute of Innovation. So 12 years before today, 12 years ago, we were confident of the importance of innovation for our country. Today, innovation has become a buzzword, and there is innovation cell. Dr. Abhay Jere is heading it very efficiently. So Dr. Sasrabuddhe and MHRD has brought in innovation into the AICTE to bring it to our mother country and all the students like you. So the point is, start early and book first movers advantage. Start building your no regret skill sets now and test them. Now testing, I'll just touch upon one thing. I don't know whether there are chemical engineers, chemistry people in this, but you know, today's virus is there. So a vaccine for the virus is being tried everywhere. The Serum Institute in India, in Netherlands, Israel, many places, United States, many places of this world. What they do? Why it takes time? Any concept, be it a chemical pharma concept, or the concept that I said, no regret skills developing, any development need to be tested first on a laboratory scale. For example, the bulk drugs, which are very important and used everywhere. So for example, take ranitidine, or take cenfalexin or prisufulven. They were first tried, tested at the National Chemical Laboratory of India on a laboratory scale. When the experiments are complete, the errors are eliminated, and the drug is positively ready for launching, they do not make the production immediately. There is a pilot plant in between. So the pilot plant is a mini-scale manufacturing plant, production plant. So the pilot plant becomes operative, then it becomes successful, then it goes full-fledged on manufacturing plant, production plant for the use of many people. Your idea, no regret idea, has to be passed through these three stages. You test them at the college level, then you test them a little more, and then you come up with completely ready and confident to work yourself and engage yourself more meaningfully, usefully, and make progress. You'll be ready to enjoy the fruits then. And you will enjoy, not just think of destination, but you will enjoy the journey of this learning also. You'll be working maybe in government, you may be an entrepreneur, you may be a scientist, or you can be an Uber engineer, as I mentioned before. You'll be working. But the last thing before we stop, I want to tell you that you'll be not only working for yourself. Please, please change the headline of your working from today onwards. And your headline is working for the benefit of my country, for contributing to the progress of my country. In the process, making a great life, professional life for myself and for the people I care for. you'll have a satisfying life. My best wishes are always with you. Please consider today's learning and start from today. My best wishes go with you today and always. Thank you. Namaste. Jai Hind.